All right, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8.
He said no.
And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is his prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
And you had the brother that came up earlier, man. He was saying that what he can't take away from us is the fact that brothers go into these precepts, we go into our foundation. We stand on our foundation, and we got to answer, whether it be in secular history or according to prophecy, man. We're thorough through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, man. The Lord has put the spirit on us to be thorough in his doctrine, man, because we're the servants of the Lord, man.
If I can say this, like Taha said, we got all the keys, man.
Yeah, man. All the keys are over here, man. Through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, man. And it's all going, the Lord's plan is going perfectly. All on time to the T, man. And we're in the spirit, of Matthew 13 and 17, man. Because many righteous men have desired to see this day, man. And understand it, man. Matter of fact, real quick, this is Daniel's chapter 8, verse 26. And the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick certain days. Afterward I rose up and did the king's business, and I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it. And it said, thou art wiser than Daniel. So if wise Daniel didn't understand his visions, it shows you that the Lord is putting a period on them sentences now, man. Because now we're going into Daniel's 7th chapter and the 8th chapter and breaking it down, man. Certain prophecies, the men that were supposed to complete those prophecies weren't even on the earth yet, man. And it shows you that the prophets didn't always understand what they were seeing, man. And they compare certain things to what they knew in their day and in their age, man. And now we're in the spirit of Matthew 13 and 17, man. Because the prophets before, they made a sentence and put a comma. We're putting periods on those sentences now, man.
This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 13. These all died in faith, not having received. Salaki, I'm going to read that again. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed them that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
Woo. And that shows you, man, that even though our forefathers didn't understand, could you imagine seeing America in 2000 BC? Living in 2000 BC and the Lord giving you a vision of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in Skechers, in New Balances, in skinny jeans, with all kind of folly and abominations going on around them. Slavery, the World War III, all of these the prophets saw before they actually came to pass. And a lot of those visions, they didn't understand it. But now we're coming back into our lots, man. Lord willing, we endure to the end. You got it?
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth.
Right.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
And that's what the Lord meant when he told John that he was going to have to prophesy until the ends of the earth, man. And we know full well that John died on the island of Patmos, man, which shows you that the prophets were going to come back in regeneration and complete the work that they started, man. And that's what we're witnessing right now, as the Lord completes the work that he started, man. We're coming into that day and age where judgment is happening, man. And the redemption of the nation of Yasharallah, man, who has been pushed to the side for centuries, is about to receive their reward, man. You got it?
This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 12. Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 2,305 and 30 days. But go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days.
And the Lord was telling Daniel, man, you're gonna rest, which means you're gonna die, and then you're gonna come back and you're gonna stand in your lot again. And all those sentences that you had incomplete, that you had a comma at, you're gonna put a period on them, man. Because you're gonna come back and say, oh, okay, this is who the Lord was talking about when he told me this vision. We in a very beautiful time to be alive, man. You had Drake and Future make that album, What a Time to Be Alive. That's on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, it is what a time to be alive, man. Because real rewards are going to be given to the nation of Yahawah, man. Real substance, man. Not this fiat currency and some used up women, man. You got it, huh? You got a piece of it? Matthew 13 and 17. We've been talking about it. Might as well grab it.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 17. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
Because what we're hearing and what we're seeing is the completion of the prophecies that weren't understood in the time of the prophets, man. We're seeing the completion of that, man. Not only that, but we're seeing the end of the time of the Gentiles, man. The time of the heathens ruling in a confederacy against our nation, man. We're watching the destruction of that confederacy, man. The Psalms 83 confederacy against the nation of Yahawah is starting to deteriorate. And you see the relationship between Turkey and America, where Turkey is telling their people to invest in their own economy, man. Get rid of dollars, invest in your economy. And you know what the nation of America did? Donald Trump, he doubled the tariffs on them boys, man. So since you're trying to build your own nation up, I'm going to double tax you, man. And that shows that he's ruling the people with a continual wrath, man.
How dare you? That's pride, bro. Continual stroke.
With a continual stroke, man, in every aspect of life, man. From telling Negroes in the NFL that you should protest another way, all the way to taxing Turkey because they want to be of their own, because they want to separate themselves and invest in their own economy. All of that is an example of them ruling the nations in wrath, man. All the substance the so-called white man got, and he's still angry, man. Which shows you there's nothing on this planet that's gonna satisfy him except the complete destruction of this planet, man. His desires as hell, man.
This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 1. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Exactly. And the prudence is beginning with the hopeful elect, man. And to show forth of their faith is them standing on these highways and hedges and separating themselves from the ways of Babylon, man. Keeping the laws to the best of their ability, man. Letting their light shine before men. You got it,
Sirach chapter 10, verse 4. The power of the earth is in his hand, is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
And the Lord is about to set up the one that's profitable, which is the one they ignorantly call Jesus, man. And the nation of Yahawah. He said he shall save his people from their sins. What's the purpose of Yahawah being above all nations? To judge all nations, man. In righteousness, correct, beautiful. Because it says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, man. That's why the Lord said it's going to be a time to come where he's going to set somebody up that's profitable, man. The so-called white man in rulership is not profitable for anybody, man. Just look at the news. Look at the condition of the planet Earth and tell me it doesn't belong to new management. It should be in new management, man.
Hey, yeah, Esau does that with his businesses all the time. When a business is unprofitable or it's not meeting what you call the quota,
right?
They hire they put the contract up for bid again and go and put it on the new management.
That's what he's trying to do with the New World Order. He's trying to do it now.
Right. When you look at some of these apartment complexes, when you look at some of these apartment complexes or whatever they call it, some of these, you know, these jobs or these contracts, when the current contractor is he's not meeting the quota for that month or for that whatever that fiscal period, which is usually every 3 months, you know, he can get fired, and what they'll do is they'll put the contract up for bid again. You know, so that's what the Most High is doing, man. He said in due time he's gonna set up something that's profitable. What's the opposite of profitable? Unprofitable. So that automatic. Go ahead, I bring that out.
This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 8.
Oh yeah.
Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Oh, there it goes. The contract is up. Hey, the contract is up for bid again, man. And we already know who's getting the contract this time for the earth. That's Yahshua. Through the spirit and power, YAHAWASHI, in complete order, man. I say again, in complete order. Because right now, Esau is out of order. The Most High said, we in the time to build down. Esau wants to build. The Most High said, this is the time for war. Esau is telling everybody that we should love each other. He's the complete opposite. He's Satan, man, the opposer of the Most High. You know? But still, ironically, it's the Most High who sanctions it.
Hey, it's beautiful. I gotta read it back.
Go ahead.
You got it. You got it.
That's his portion, right?
Yeah.
This is Job chapter 27 and verse 13. This is the portion of a wicked man with God, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty.
So the Lord is going to render a recompense, and he's going to put righteous rulership in authority, man. Because under this rulership right now, the entire planet is being destroyed.
Y'all gotta be telling the truth. Y'all wouldn't have been drawn over here.
That's the spirit of the Lord.
It's simple, man.
But the Lord is going to put...
I was telling my girlfriend about that Apocrypha, that book in the Mirror Bible they took out. I don't know much about it. There's a lot of girls' names in it.
Well, the Apocrypha is what happens between the New and the Old Testament. What happened, the Greeks, the Greek rulership, the Persian rulership, all of that stuff exists in this book. And they take it out because a lot of the history in this book corroborates with what we're telling people on the highways and hedges now.
It's called an intertestamental period.
Right.
What happened is, what they don't understand
If they had something to hide, they wouldn't have took it out.
Exactly.
right. And that's the name of Apocrypha means this. Nah, they really didn't understand that the same thing in the Apocrypha, it's in the book of Daniel.
Yeah.
The same thing that's in the Apocrypha they took out, it's still mentioned in Daniel.
Because
So it was going to be revealed anyway.
in 2006, and ever since then, you know, bad guys been on my ass trying to test my heart, see what I really believe, where my heart really at. You know, and I'm a Christian, oh man, wherever I'm at. I don't care if I'm in the middle of Iran, everywhere I go. But you know, I prayed to God, and I said, you know, there's so many different teachings out here. How am I supposed to go out there with confidence and tell some of this stuff if I don't know what the hell I'm talking about 100%?
Right.
And, you know, I'll say the name of Jesus and say that's my Lord and Savior, and that's who got me the knowledge that I got.
The power phrase is basically if you don't know the answers, they keep you up short.
I got
So
whatchamacallit? I got in a deep prayer with God, and I asked him to teach me. He said to everybody here in the world, because I know he knows the truth 100%, no doubt, no myself. You know, I just kind of shied away, and I'm just trying to live right now instead of, and that's what hurt me the most, is getting out of the Word. Because now it's not constantly on my mind like it was when I was reading the book every day. But my thing is that what I see is a green light when I try to do something. If it works out, then that was God's plan. Does that sound right, y'all?
Well, your prayer is being answered because now you're in front of the actual truth. This is the understanding of the prophecies and who's who in the scriptures, all right?
Yeah, when I see now, it's like, oh my God, that's everybody.
Yes. Well, this is the
What I didn't like about how Trump wanted to kick everybody out 200 years ago. America was for everybody. What the fuck happened?
Well, it wasn't for everybody.
for everybody. 200 years ago, well, when you go further back, you ever heard of the Louisiana Purchase and the Alamo, the war? Hey, really and truly, Texas, a lot of those, New Mexico, a lot of those places over there actually belong to Mexicans, man. So how dare you kick them out of their own line and then stand up a border and say you can't come back?
Right.
The Native Americans, right? Which is, we believe through the spirit of the Lord, that's the tribe of Gad and Reuben, man. You know? And Native Americans don't even just mean Gad and Reuben. That really represents the Northern Kingdom of really Native Americans. You know? Yeah, right. Yeah, the Tainos were natives. Yeah. Really, Zebulons, that's really talking about the whole Northern Kingdom is really Native Americans when you look at it like that. But when you go more specific, like the North American Indians, you know that was Gad and, you know, Reuben was down here in the Seminole areas of Florida, man.
You know what?
So,
And to that point, because a lot of people, they'll get carnal and they'll see Seminole Indians, and when you look up the history, it tells you that they're a combination of the Creek and the runaway slaves. But we have faith, man. Reuben was going to play his part regardless of what he was calling himself in this land, man. And through the Spirit of the Lord, he had those spirits separate themselves and be called what you call the Seminole Indians, man. All of these things are according to prophecy, man. And we have full faith in YAHAWASHI's prophecy, man. You got it, brother.
Hurry up, we gotta
this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine,
Right.
he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. You know, and when you're looking at the so-called white man, his home is really Mount Seir, man, or the Caucasus Mountains in Georgia, Russia. But he can't keep it at home. He came down and did what? Renaissance period, which during the Renaissance period, which is Latin for rebirth, they did something what's called iconoclasm, which means icon means image or picture, and clism means destruction. So they basically went around Europe destroying the images of King James, all the czars, basically the ruling class families of Europe during the Dark Ages, and they sat themselves up on the pedestal. After they did that, I mean, they hit the ground running, man. You know, but that was all prophecy, because when you Revelation 20, it says that he must be released for a little season, man, to deceive once again, man. That's his job. Esau's job is to put that darkness on the earth, man. The scripture says, have there been evil in the city and the Lord have not done it, man? Right. So the Most High sanctioned Esau to put that darkness out here. That way when the Most High starts putting that light of truth out, it's gonna look like, it's gonna seem far-fetched. And that's what's gonna make his salvation so strange to everybody, man. Because they so used to the wine that Esau's been propagating and promoting within the to and fro in the earth, man. His democracy, his philosophies, man. Mainly his democracy, man. When you look at the Middle East, man, women used to cover the fuck up over there. Now they're driving cars. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you look at the Middle East, man, those women were covered up. Now a lot of them are fleeing the Middle East to come over here just so they can put on jeans now. And they call themselves lesbians,
so
man.
Everybody says they can divorce their husband and become lesbians. They can divorce their husbands,
and they can talk shit without getting killed for it anymore, man. You know?
That's the destructiveness of Esau's wine.
It's wine, man.
And that's why Ishmael willing to die about that, man.
Right, man.
Ishmael willing to die to keep his woman in that burqa, man.
Right, man. And that's why the serpent went to Eve first, man. The serpent went to Eve because the woman is gullible, man. You know? The woman is a gullible and a vain creature, man. Right. So not even just the nigger woman, but the women of all these nations are easily persuaded by the wine of Esau, man. You know? Hey, back in Habakkuk,
I showed you commandments for us.
Hey, verse 6 it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increaseth, which is not his.
You got it, Austin.
It says, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, man. And that thick clay is talking about debt, man. You know? But how is Esau increasing which is not his? Because really and truly, everything on this planet belongs to Yashar Allah. Even the heathens, man. Right. But right now, Esau is trying to take control of all the natural resources of the earth and the heathens by the way of the chip, man. But the Most High said that he was going to give that us of it as an inheritance if we ask, man. So really and truly, these heathen nations, And the earth was made for our sake, man. It belongs to us. But Esau is what? He's increasing which is not his, man. And it says, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, like I said, that thick clay is talking about debt, man. He's lading himself with debt because now he's lading himself with physical, tangible debt and spiritual debt, man. You know, hey, what's the America's what, like how many $1 trillion in debt right now, man? Hey, count, and the numbers are steady going up. It's higher than that, but that's what they show you on this. But they don't even show you what's really going on when you start to add in all the other factors, man. But that's the physical debt. I mean, but the spiritual debt is what? Esau as a whole, man. Hey, the Most High requires his blood, man, and that's how he's gonna pay that debt, and he's not gonna walk the face of the earth no more, man. You know, with the rape, robbery, and the murder, the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, man, covering up the faces of the judges, defiling, not honoring the land Sabbath. Every single law that the Most High propagated and said that the nation of Yahawah was supposed to uphold, Esau has done the exact opposite and deemed it to be okay in this society, man. Not only is it that your things turned upside down, they're upside down and they're esteemed, man. That's why the scripture says your turn of things shall be esteemed. It's one thing when shit is backwards, but it's another thing when it's backwards and it's held to in a high standard, man. You know?
Isaiah 5:20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Right, the word woe means destruction, man. So woe unto you that call evil good, man. And we live in a society right now where evil is called good, man. You know, any which way, shape, or form, the Most High set up order. Esau turned it upside down and also taught our people that it was okay. That's why when the Yahawah, through the spirit and power Yahawah Shai and the elect, we're gonna have to teach the nation with a rod of iron, man. And we're gonna have to beat the wine out of them in the kingdom of heaven to get them in order. You know?
This is Psalms chapter 73, verse 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no beds in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than a heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression, they speak lawfully. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of full cup are wrung out to them.
Genesis chapter 4, starting at 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Verse 14, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. Ecclesiastes 7 and 15. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone who findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So that's what that goes back to, that hedge of protection that the Most High put upon Cain. You got that?
It says 7 and 15. It says Ecclesiastes 7 and 15. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness.
Right, man. Yahawah is that just man. But we get shot down in the street. You know, we do have a 2/3, but Yahawah is that just man. And go ahead, read that again. I'm Slakia.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 15.
Right.
All these things have I seen in the days of my vanity.
Right.
There is a just man.
That just man is talking about Yahshua. What happens to the just man?
There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness.
He perished in his righteousness, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah, look, all the apostles minus John the Revelator were put to death, man.
If I can say this, brother, that's why it's beautiful that this brother brought out Psalms, because when you actually going through that suffering that the just man is doing, it's hard not to look at what the evil is doing and say,
and cover it over there.
I got.
Hey, bring that out.
That's beautiful, man. Y'all
I'm gonna go back to it. This is Proverbs 3 and 31.
Right.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Right.
It says, for the forward is abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. It says, verse 33, the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just.
Go back. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him.
Finish that
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 15. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness.
Right, because Esau is that wicked man is referring to Esau, man. He prolongeth in his wickedness because the Most High set a hedge upon him, man. Hey, when you read Proverbs 16 and 4, the Lord said he created the wicked for the day of evil.
Right.
That word evil means, that word day is not talking about a 24-hour period. That's talking about a period of time. Evil means bad times.
Right.
And we're living in those bad times now. And that really started during the time of Alexander, those bad times, man. That's when the Most High gave the earth, the hands of the earth, the earth into the hands of the wicked, man. But when you, hold on, it's like when the brother read that in Proverbs, it says covet, wait, it's like, what was that you had, bro? In Proverbs, covet. Right. Envy not
Proverbs 3 and 3 and 31.
Yeah, right.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Right.
For the forward is his abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous.
Right, envy not the oppressor, man. We living in a society that's circling the drain, man. You don't want to live in a, you don't, thinking about, you're not supposed to live in poverty. You're supposed to, make ends meet and survive until the Most High returns. But your mindset should be these scriptures and getting out of here, man. Should be hasted in the day. In Matthew 6, the Lord said in the Lord's Prayer, give us this our daily bread, man. And that shows meekness and shamefacedness, man. Understanding that the Most High controls everything, man. So when you read that, can you, Bob, you got more on that?
Yeah, I'm going to finish that out. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 13, finishing it out. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he fareth not before the Most High. There is a vanity which is done upon the earth, that there be just men unto whom it happeneth according to the work of the wicked. Again, there be wicked men to whom it happeneth according to the work of the righteous. I said this also is vanity.
Right, when you go into that word vanity, it goes into empty, nothingness, man. Empty, dead, vain, man. That's all vanity, man. But read that in the read that Hebrews.
You wanted to start at 14 or 13?
You can start at 13.
All right, Hebrews 13 and 13. Let us go forth, therefore, unto him without the camp, bearing his reproach.
Right.
14. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come.
Right. We don't seek a continuing city in Esau's kingdom. Why? Because we envy not the things of the wicked, man. We don't want none of his shit, man. Because his shit leads to what? Death, man. And the scriptures tell you that, man. the way of the thereof, the way of death, man. Not slacking. I can't even think of it right here on top of my head. But the things of Esau are vain, and his vanity is empty and nothingness, man. And so is his kingdom. That's why Yahawashi said to hate yourself in this world, man, and find eternal life in his kingdom, man. You know, we don't seek a continuing city in this kingdom because it's nothing but vanity. Matter of fact, in Jeremiah 28:8, went into it earlier, this society is nothing but war, pestilence, and wicked, man, and evil, man. That's all it's about. Why would we want to seek a continuing city here in our precious land, man, during his time? You know, Ecclesiastes 7:7, an oppression maketh the wise man mad. You know? So, and that's the first, hey man, the scriptures even tell you to be ye angry and to sin not, man. So we living in a time where we just ready to get out of this kingdom and this society, man. You know? But 2/3 of our people, what? They the exact opposite. Because what? They seek a continuing city here, and they want everything that the so-called white man has, man. And how does the white man propagate that? They'll give our people a couple $1 million and flaunt them on TV. And young Jake growing up and seeing other people that look just like him on TV, they think that shit is okay, man.
I got two precepts. You got it. Because that's what 2/3 want to do.
Right, come on.
But this is what Isaiah want to do right here. This is Psalm chapter 58, verse 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. This is what Isaiah want to do. This is Psalm chapter 68, verse 23. That thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thy enemies, and thy tongue of thy dogs in the shame.
And this is what all of the men of the Lord want to do, man. Through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, Lord willing, we all endure, man. You know, all of us seek the judgment of YAHAWASHI, man. We all trying to escape, man. You know, but judgment must needs come, you know. This is, you got it out.
Psalms 58, right?
Yeah, this one is Psalm 68.
60.
Which one? Psalm 68 and 23. That thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thy enemies, and the tongue of thy dogs in the same.
It says that thy foot be where up?
Dipped in the blood of our enemies.
Dipped in the blood of our enemies, right? Now when you go to Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, and you start from the top, Isaiah, chapter 63, verse 1, it says, Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? That is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, wherefore art thou rent in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in a wine fat? Because you know, when treading in a wine fat is how they used to squash the grapes, man. They used to go in there and just step on, you know, they used to walk, and you know, to squash those grapes, they used to stop in the wine fat, right? It says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment, and I will stain all my raiment. Now that's Yahawashi speaking, right? Okay. Now you think Yahawashi is actually going to have blood on him, man? That's going to be the elect and Yasha Allah doing it, man. So when he brought out that scripture talking about dipping your feet in the blood, man, that's what Yasha Allah is going to do, but according to the will of the Most High, man. You know? I just had to back you up.
Right here. This is Psalms 58, verse 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. So, oh, you did? My bad. Hey, say that again. So that a man shall verily, my bad, Salaki. So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily is he a power that judges the earth. Hey, right, not again.
And that's what we waiting on, man, for the Lord to judge and give a reward to the righteous, man. The brothers went into beautifully how the wicked have been prolonging their days, man. And the righteous man been dying out here in these streets, man. Even the righteous men of the days are old, man. They got them prophecies and they know when they was going down, man. And they went to the grave with the hope that the Lord was going to make good on his promise, man. So we're looking for that reward. And when it happens, we're going to say, surely there's a reward for the righteous, man. And not the wicked, man. That's continuing to live deliciously, but they shall go down to the grave in a moment. Right, the Lord said, in 1 hour, great riches are going to come to naught, man. Everything that this place has invested in and creating this system is going to be destroyed in an hour, man.
Edomite night?
Yeah, I think it is. It's an Edomite night.
I got a precept.
See you guys. See you guys.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys.
This Psalm chapter 36, verse 11. Let not the foot of the pride come against me.
Right.
And let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down and shall not be able to rise.
So when the enemy comes in like a flood, which is the so-called white man and his cohorts,
you will kill the enemy.
When the enemies come in like a flood, the Lord is going to protect his men. All right? And all of the people that make mockery of this is going to be put to death.
This is Psalms 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it,
right,
even to the foundation thereof.
Right.
Verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
Right.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
And the Christian church isn't teaching
I appreciate.
The Christian church ain't teaching this, man.
I asked the Lord, Lord, please give me the power from you, the power to live. Nothing. I got nothing.
Hey, your prayers are an abomination, man.
I'm praying again, hey Lord, hey, come on, hey, give me some power. Give me some power.
You prayed to the wrong God, man.
Give me nothing.
Though he sought it carefully with tears, man. His prayer's not going to be heard, man. Through the spirit of power, YAHAWASHI, man. The Lord is going to mock these scoffers, man. And that day he's going to laugh at the calamity of these demons, man.
He's not scoffing. He said he prayed to the Lord to believe.
He got nothing.
He said he prayed to the Lord to believe. He can't believe. It's not
He should have prayed to Satan.
He say he prayed for power too. Yeah,
he's God.
Yeah, he's a child of Satan, man. Make him twice more the child of hell, man. But there's coming a time where the reward for the righteous is gonna happen, man. And that's what we praying on, and that's what we waiting on, man. You know, the brothers brought it out in Genesis that even from the garden, Esau's days were prolonged, man. Esau, which was Cain in the beginning, the old serpent, his days were prolonged even from the beginning, man, from the garden. So that means essentially he has to pay from the garden all the way till now, man. His tab has to run up from the garden until now because blood defiled the land. Cain never got murdered for killing Abel, man. And the Lord says that the land cannot be healed unless the blood of the man who shed it. So Esau's heritage, Esau's been protected since the garden, man. Likewise, he has to pay for his tab since the garden. From that first murder, from Abel all the way to the last Israelite that's being murdered in Babylon right now, man. He has to pay for that whole tab, not including the wine, the philosophy, the robbery, the lies, the accuser of thy brethren, the nation of Yasharallah.
This is Hebrews chapter 9, verse 22. And almost all things are by the law purged with blood.
Right.
And without shedding of blood is no remission.
So the Lord granted Esau, or who was Cain in the garden, a moment, a grace period before he actually has to answer for his sentence. A lot of times a criminal will get charged if it's a federal case or whatnot, and they won't have to report and actually go through that punishment before for an appointed time.
When they get sentenced to death,
that's
some of these death row inmates are on death row for almost 30 sometimes 20, 30 years before they actually get put to death, man. You know? So right now, Esau's on death row, man. He just don't know when he's gonna get put to death. And right now, what he's trying to do, he's just trying to fucking what? Find his way out of death row.
And that green mile for Esau is gonna be captivity, man. Because in that with the green mile, you actually start knowing the hour until your demise. So when Esau is actually put up in cages and all the nations are narrowly looking upon his red ass, he's gonna be on that green mile. Because we're gonna be counting down the years until his destruction, man. And we're gonna make it blatant. Every day he wakes up and he climb up out of that pit to do that work, we're gonna let him know. Esau, you got 999 and all the way down to the day, man. Because we can't wait to be rid of the so-called white man,
hey,
the Edomite, man.
In the kingdom, man.
Neither is the earth, man. Nature can't wait to be rid of him, man.
Hey, Obadiah 18 is gonna be Esau's favorite scripture in them 1,000 years, man.
Yeah.
Hey, in them 1,000 years, every morning, if and when Esau gets sleep, which is probably only gonna be on the Sabbath, hey, they gonna wake up reading Obadiah 18. We gonna have them rehearsing that, man.
Because when you torture a man, at a certain point of the torture, the man is not giving up to be saved. He's giving up for you to put him out his misery. Because at a certain point, you reach a point in torture where the man can't, his wounds are too grievous for him to even heal. In a sense, it's a mercy killing. And that's what's going to happen to Esau in captivity. The damage that's going to be done to Esau and the torture that's going to happen to Esau, you know, through the captivity and through the ruling with a rod of iron is going to be so intense. He's going to approach the burning furnace with appreciation, man.
Which is still shows and is an ultimate, which shows just the compassion of the Most High. Because that being a mercy kill is still the Most High having compassion on Esau, man. You know, putting him out his misery, like the brother said, with the mercy kill, man.
Right. Just like my brother.
Hey, this is Zechariah chapter 9, starting at verse 11. Salakia. As for thee also by the blood of thy covenant, I have sent forth thy prisoners out of the pit wherein there is no water.
Right.
Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render a double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for verse Zechariah 9 and 13. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of the mighty men. Hey, man. Hey, so at one point in time, when the Most High had up the unprofitable child up, that's when Esau was the sword of the Most High. But the Most High is showing you how he's putting down that sword, and he's picking up the sword of Zion, man. He's telling, hey, I'll read that again. Verse 13. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, which the word Zion in the Hebrew is Tzion, which means a monument, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of the mighty men.
Right. Man, that's because do you know how long our nation has been a sheep, man? When you really think about all the captivities our nation has been through, can you imagine how long we've been sheep, man? And the Lord's saying that for our shame, you know, for everything we're going through, we're going to get double, man. Because we're going to be that much mightier when the Lord actually blesses us with the power to exert judgment, man. That's beautiful.
Hey, and we're gonna and that double too. Hey, when you read the book of Joshua, man, you seen what YAHAWAH was doing when the Lord Most High was, you know, dealing with us. Hey, but in the kingdom, man, the Most High is gonna give us that plus double. He's gonna double it. He's gonna double that, man. Hey, you think the Lord was with us during the time of Joshua? Watch when he's with us when YAHAWAH has the laws written in their heart and they can't sin anymore. Hey, during the time of Joshua, we didn't really have the spiritual power, man. We just had the might, you know? But in the kingdom, we're going to have the might with the spiritual power, man. Which that spiritual power, Slakia, also goes into what? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of YAHAWASHI, man, to the fullest, man. Not just having the laws and the wisdom, But we're gonna have the wisdom and the understanding of the wisdom, which is the Lord.
I got a precept. Isaiah chapter 61, verse 7. For your shame ye shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double, everlasting joy shall be unto them. Key word, everlasting, man. Our position right now is temporary, man. Though we're suffering, though we have tribulation in the world, this is a temporary condition, man. What we stand to gain far exceeds what we have right now, man. What we're suffering, man.
This is Revelations chapter 18, verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double.
And that's balance, because the Lord said he's going to give us double for the shame that we've suffered here. And likewise, he's going to render double to Esau for what he's done to us, man. Like we said earlier, man, this world is about to find out how far the Lord is willing to go for his nation, man.
I got a precept back, bro.
We'll just finish that out real quick. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord thy power, who judgeth her.
Hey, you go up on that where it says she's lived deliciously.
Revelations 18 and 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously.
Hey, how did America glorify itself and live deliciously, man? Because they had the blood of the saints, man. Hey, Jake is the #1 spending force that drives the American economy.
Right.
So when these other nations come in to do business, because they know if they want to make money, they set up shop in America, it still all trickles back down to Jake. Because it goes, and that goes into Psalms 83. Even if you know, like when you look at these Moabites, they got nail salons and Chinese stores and all that. Okay, but that's little shit. You talk about China has all their fucking imports over here. That's the major levels, man. But that's still Jake consuming all of that, man.
If I can say this too,
these other nations know when they set up shop in America, whether it be small or big, it's because Jake is spending their money, man.
If I can say this too, we the poorest people on the planet, and we spend more money than the damn white man, man. We spend more money than them, man.
Real.
You know? There was a report that was brought out about all these different stores like Macy's.
I was talking about y'all. I'm gone. I've been drinking. I was letting them know. I have been to Christian. Also, I'm legal salon. Been a Muslim. A Jehovah's Witness. I said, do you see them guys right there? Whether they right or wrong, we ain't gonna get in there. This is smart guys right there. They intelligent not to be questioned. Now, question was because see, get what I say. Out of all religion I've been, now most of my life I was a Christian, a little bit of Muslim, and I was a Jehovah's Witness. Sure. By the